proud of you, and I'd like to request that all of you stand and receive our applause. Please stand. Congratulations. Good to see you. What was the second thing I said I was going to do now? That's the first. Congratulations. This is the final test. Share a lesson about life, right? I'd like to challenge you to commit yourself to living a life of service, or in other words, serving other people. I was out walking a while back, and for some strange reason, I was enjoying walking through a Riverside cemetery. As I walked through the cemetery, I noticed on all those tombstones there'd be things like 1868-1927, 1901-1973. And I was reminded of something I read in one of Jimmy Carter's books when he said one of the most powerful sermons he had ever heard was when the preacher talked about that dash. There's a beginning, there's an ending. But what I'm talking about tonight, and what I challenge you to do, is to think about that dash which represents your life. And commit yourself to being of service to other people. We have at Mercer a program called the Flex program. Flex represents freshman leadership experience. A while back I was asked to speak to the freshmen on leadership, and it just wasn't clicking. Usually when I'm asked to talk, things begin to happen up here, and I can think of an outline, and I'll cover at least 3 points of those 5 points. But I just couldn't think of anything to say. I remember so well, it got to be Monday. Tuesday, I was supposed to speak to this Flex class, the freshmen. I still do not know what I was going to say. That's cutting it close in my book. I like to be ready about 2 weeks out. Something that I do every day is I start the day with a devotional. And I go in that morning, and I opened up, and here's what I found. True Leaders was the title of the devotional for that day. James and John wanted the highest position in Jesus' kingdom. But Jesus told them that true greatness comes in serving others. Jesus described leadership from a new perspective. Instead of using people, we are to serve them. Jesus' mission was to serve others and to give his life away. I love the following sentence. I like it so much I've underlined it here. A real leader has a servant's heart. A real leader has a servant's heart. Most businesses, organizations, and institutions measure greatness by high personal achievement. In Christ's kingdom, however, service is the way to get ahead. Now, what do we mean by service? I think I can best help define service by sharing the experience that I had about 6 years ago in New Zealand. I went to New Zealand to speak on the topic of service, but from a business perspective, quality service, customer service. And I was in New Zealand about 2 weeks, going around to different towns and cities, speaking on the topic of service. During my second week there, a man who had accompanied me on every one of those speeches, named John Law, I'll never forget him, called me up, said, "What would you like to do this weekend?" I said, "Well, John, why don't you decide?" He said, "I'll pick you up Sunday morning and we'll go for a walk in the bush." Now, I grew up in Gray, Georgia, just north of Macon. Had absolutely no idea what that meant. Walk through the bush? What do you do? How long does it take? What do you wear? I later learned that that's just the New Zealand expression for walking through the woods. So we're out on this beautiful Sunday morning walking through the woods. We come to an opening in the woods, and I see these rolling hills with incredibly lush green grass. And I just stand there, take a deep breath, and say, "Wow, God did good today." And we walk on some more, and we get up on top of the hill. And I told John earlier in the week that I really do like the water. He said, "Look, you can see water in every direction." And sure enough, we could. So here I am, the ugly American with the video camera. I get out the video camera, and I'm panning around. Wow, this has sure been one of the best trips I've ever taken in my life. All the people have been so nice to me. I've had a really good time. And I get about here, and like that AT&T commercial that says, reach out and touch, right out there, just almost like I could touch it, was a spectacular rainbow. It seemingly touched the earth on both ends, all the colors so clear and crisp. So here I am with the video camera, taking pictures of the rainbow. Wow, this is just an incredible sight. I don't think I've ever seen such a pretty rainbow, I'll say. Put the camera down, and John said, look, I believe it's gotten even brighter. I said, it has, John, give me the camera. I need some more of this rainbow. I was getting into that rainbow. Now, I've gotten to the age where sometimes I can't remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday, but I'll never forget that day. I'm standing here it is Sunday morning. That was special. I'd been gone about 2 weeks, and I was leaving the next day to go back home. That was special, and I really, really had a very nice time. And here I am with all these emotions and the beauty of this rainbow, and John Law is standing here 3 feet over my right shoulder, and I hear him say, Carl. Now, you say Carl, but in New Zealand, they speak with a British-like accent. So he says, Carl, I think I figured out this service thing. You see, he had heard me about 5 or 6 times. So he said, I think I figured it out. And I remember so well, I turned around and I said, well, what is it, John? And he said, service means doing little things that you don't have to do. Doing little things that you don't have to do. That's how we serve others. Doing little things for other people that we really don't have to do. What are some of these little things? Caring, understanding, respecting, empathizing, showing compassion, expressing feelings, thanking, and loving. As Alice Carey says in her poem Nobility, there's nothing so keenly as kindness. J.G. Harlin says it another way, a noble deed is a step towards God. Perhaps it's as simple as an old Cruz said when he said we can love God and the person in front of us. I'd like to share with you one of the best experiences that I've ever had in being on the receiving end of someone who served me. On one particular day in New Zealand, I had to make 3 different talks. Not one talk 3 times. 3 different talks. And I don't like to use a lot of notes, so I knew I was going to have to get up early and practice. So the evening before that busy day, I called out to the front desk and I said, I'd like a 4 a.m. wake-up call. And since that's a little bit earlier than I normally get up, I said, would you mind putting some notation there in your book or in your computer or however you're recording this to give me a second wake-up call about 5 after 4? I was thinking in case the first one didn't work, I'd get a second shot at it. I was really nervous that night. I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning. 4 a.m. the phone rang. I picked it up and said, hello, good morning, Mr. Joyner. This is your 4 o'clock wake-up call. I said, thank you. Now, I am wide awake, but I just decided to do a little research. I said, I think I'm just going to stay in bed and see if he keeps his word. Will I get that second wake-up call? Sure enough, 5 after 4, the phone rings the second time. Good morning again, Mr. Joyner. My notes show you wanted a second wake-up call. And I'm it. I said, thanks so much. So then I get up and I go across the room and I begin to write on the note cards. Well, I think I'll say this is my 9 o'clock talk. I'm going to say that at 2 o'clock. And about that time, the phone rang a 3rd time. My first thought was, who in this little world would be calling me at 4:15 in the morning? But I go over and I pick up the phone, and after I say hello, I hear him say, good morning again, Mr. Joyner. I know this is the 3rd time that I've called you, but I just wanted to be sure. He cared enough about a stranger to do some little thing that he didn't have to do. And I could go on and on and on with examples, but I know I'm not supposed to talk very much longer. I would like to do something, though, that I don't, and if I have been to 63 graduations, that I've never seen anyone do, and I would give every member of the graduating class a gift. I went out to the bookstore, and I literally went to 2 bookstores today. I wanted to find a real good book. And I found some, and they'd only have 4 copies. I found another one, and they'd have 6 copies. I said, I need 8. He said, how soon do you need it? I said, I need it today. So I go to another bookstore, and it's almost like someone was there with me, and I'm sure someone was, because I found this book written by Mother Teresa, entitled No Greater Love, and she certainly has committed her life to a life of service. I know of no other person who has served more people than Mother Teresa. I'd like to read what's on the back cover. What we need is to love without getting tired. How does a lamp burn? Through the continuous input of small drops of oil. What are these drops of oil in our lamps? They're the small things of daily life. Faithfulness, small words of kindness, a thought for others, our way of being silent, of looking, of speaking, and of acting. Do not look for Jesus away from yourselves. He's not out there. He's in you. Keep your lamp burning, and you will recognize Him. Okay, what did I say the third thing was going to be? We're almost there. A blessing from a butterfly's perspective. About 11 years ago, we had a rather serious health care challenge in our family, in our immediate family, and a lot of folks knew about it, and a friend gave me a copy of this book entitled The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck. And the opening sentence, in fact, the opening paragraph in his book, 3 words long. Life is difficult. And as you leave this high school, there are going to be some challenges. There are going to be some problems. Life is difficult. But I want to share a blessing with you that someone sent me, and I'd love to be looking at you, but I can read this better. It's quite long, not real long. Not real long. But I wanted to get it verbatim, so if you'll pardon me, this is really a message for these 8 young men and women. But really, I think all of us can benefit from it. It's entitled Butterfly Blessing. A man found a cocoon of a butterfly. One day, a small opening appeared. He sat and watched the butterfly for several hours as it struggled to force its body through that little hole. Then it seemed to stop making any progress. It appeared as if it had gotten as far as it could and it could go no farther. So the man decided to help the butterfly. He took a pair of scissors and snipped off the remaining bit of the cocoon. The butterfly then emerged easily. The man continued to watch the butterfly because he expected that at any moment the wings would enlarge and expand to be able to support the body, which would contract in time. Neither happened. In fact, the butterfly spent the rest of its life crawling around with a swollen body and shriveled wings. It never was able to fly. What the man, in his kindness and haste, did not understand was that the restricting cocoon and the struggle required for the butterfly to get through the tiny opening were God's way of forcing fluid from the body of the butterfly into its wings so that it would be ready for flight once it achieved its freedom from the cocoon. Sometimes struggles are exactly what we need in our lives. If God allowed us to go through our lives without any obstacles, it would cripple us. We would not be as strong as what we could have been. We never could fly. I asked for strength, and God gave me difficulties to make me strong. I asked for wisdom, and God gave me problems to solve. I asked for prosperity, and God gave me brain and brawn to work. I asked for courage, and God gave me danger to overcome. I asked for love, and God gave me troubled people to help. I asked for favors, and God gave me opportunities. I received nothing I wanted. I received everything I needed. Please join me in prayer. May your path be bright and full of light everywhere you go. And I pray your feet will never stumble out of God's plan. May the desires of your heart come true. And may you experience peace in everything you do. May goodness, kindness, and mercy come your way. And may you gain wisdom and grow in God every day. Blessings on you. Amen. Go flap your wings like a butterfly. Thank you.
Dr. Joyner, Mr. Howell, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce that these seniors have fulfilled the requirements for graduation as established by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, the Georgia Accrediting Commission, and Woodfield Academy, and declare that they are eligible for graduation.
By the authority vested in me as chairman of the Board of Directors of Woodfield Academy, I authorize the release of these diplomas.
Thank you. Stephen Hunter Boggs. Blake Scott Ellington. Bridget Jean Johnson. Monica Ann Matthews. Ashley Terrell Peacock. Benjamin Baldwin Smith, Jr. Ashley Cherie Wilder. Brad Anders Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating class of 2001.
Senior sponsor, Ms. Haley. We also as a class appreciate all you've done for us. Let us pray. Thank you for this day and all the benefits of your favor that we have each experienced during our time here at Whitfield Academy. We pray that you will be with all the graduates as we leave here and embark upon the next phase of our lives. Guide and direct each of us down the path that will lead us toward a life that will be pleasing to you both in a worldly and spiritual sense. Let us all remember what you have done for each of us and never forget that you are with us always. In Jesus' name, amen.
We're supposed to have like a
All right, boy. All right.
Come on, Paige.
We're probably going to pick you up later or what? Okay.
Some of us, I mean, like I probably will be up here Wednesday. We'll definitely
Does that look like a valedictorian?
Come on, baby, push, okay? You're doing it right. One more push and we're gonna know. That's my thing. One more push and we're gonna know.
This is Lauren's birthday party, and this is Tanner.
Give her a show. Give her a show.
Yeah, come on,
Give her a
Tanner.
show. Tell her what you think. Tell her what you think. Talk to her. Oh no, you're not gonna let go.
They're all back
No, I'm not going to do it.
That's all right. What baby's supposed to do?
I'm a big
Let him do it.
There's Jen.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you think we can wear nice seat, Joe? You fit in that comfortably.
Yeah, hey there! Nice little chair. Just
My
right.
hips are bigger.
Is Miss Lauren? Okay, Mother. Here are these wonderful ferns Lori's been telling us about. This is the healthier looking one. I believe you still got her beat.
It was
Oh, go ahead, honey. Go ahead. I'm used to it.
chocolate.
Hey, Joseph.
Chip cookie, but
That is awesome.
Hey,
Oh, no, they didn't
Joseph.
have to show this.
Oh, yeah, I brought it. So.
I got to show you something too.
Hey, Joseph. Wave to me. Wave to
I
me.
can't believe he's graduating high school.
He did last night.
That's weird.
My two
Amelia?
It's just Mama.
There's Aunt Jen and Joseph. Hey, Joseph. Hey, darling. Boo.
Outside right now. Can we wait till after the party? And I'm sure Aunt Lori will give you one of those.
Hey, Harlin.
Hello,
And
Dad.
Joseph.
Hit me.
Leave her hair.